Meow, it's Huples cat. Today is December 13th, 2022, and I'm on day 23 of my walking streak where I walk an hour or more every day. So as you can see, it's a little cold this morning, but sunny, so I'm going to head out. One of the things the council did was they put these markers in every half a kilometre to tell them how far they were going with the road reconstruction. And I find these useful, but they're not going to last because of snow ploughing and drunk driving. So what I'm going to do is this. It doesn't have to be exact, but I might as well get it as exact as I can. And on the opposite side. There we go. As winter progresses, getting fresh water is going to be more and more difficult up here. A lot of people use ice fishing drills, gasoline powered in the main. I'm vegan so I don't fish, but is there any manual drills I could use to get through ice? Might actually be something I should get. If you know of any and recommend them, let me know in the comments. If you're fortunate to live in a place that has seasons, each season will bring its own unique challenges and rewards. So I'm going off-road, it's dirt track and it dead ends. This road dead ends, so it's dead end. But how do I know I can trespass safely? Well, when it snows you can usually see tracks. And one of the things you'll notice here is the tracks kind of end. You should always know your area. A couple hundred years ago, there was lots of gold, silver and mica mining in this area. So when you see a shallow depression like that, that's bounded on all four sides, don't enter it. In the summer you can't even see this because of the vegetation. Let us go in and see what we can see. I don't recommend trespassing. Be very cautious when doing so. Between 1870 and 1910, mostly around about 1900, this area was logged out and homesteads were created here. They did a fair amount of work in the 1880s, but they pretty much chopped down every single tree in the area, which was an incredibly difficult task. Manual saws and mules. And then they collected all the stones from the soil and planted crops. And then the soil blew away. It's very thin. So you can see how thick the natural stone walls are, and that's because they needed it to insulate it, and they dug down as well to try and insulate as well during the winter. And also in the summer, if they could make some sort of crude basement, it cooled the place down. But there's a lot of sandy soil here, very little in the way of real soil, and there's a huge amount of rain, snow and water. So actual building of basements here is pretty much impossible, which is why we didn't where we built. Original or dumped, I do not know. I'll pray in case there's a body in there. So next to this foundation is a much smaller, thinner one, which seems to be more recent origin, made of breeze block and concrete, whereas that's the original, it's just rocks. Probably used a bit of mortar. And you have that. You don't want to fall in there, do you? There you can really see the difference in the construction over the years. Old and new. Root cellar maybe? Water system? I've no idea, what do you think? It's always eerie to come across human artefacts just rotting. People lived lives in places like this. Now abandoned, forgotten. A nice old shed, long since tilted on its side I think. But it commanded a view of a ravine. Needs a bit of fixing up I think. Nice old vehicle chassis. At one time people used that to drive to town. Probably an old outhouse. So some of the small pits might actually be sewerage that's decayed over time from outhouses, so be careful going in pits. Could be the remains of an old road. I'm not going to examine it though because I'm not carrying any emergency equipment today. It's not that smart to go wandering in deep into the forest. Well, I've just gone a bit off the path because there is a road marking here and they put the blue numbers in because people live here. It's on the town rolls. But the road's not been used for at least 4 years. Haven't found anything yet, but I did find a whole bunch of raspberry or blueberry canes. And I will come back in the summer and see what they are. But as you can kind of see, this road has long since disappeared wherever it went. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guesstimate it based on the thinness of the trees, thinner being newer. That's natural collapse. This whole area is an open area that's actually a wetland. So this is not where I want to go. I'm looking for humanity here. I'm looking for signs of humans. Find wherever we've been, we leave trash. Don't know if you can see it. Literally right by it and I didn't see it. That's an old agricultural implement. But in terms of habitation, I'm not finding anything, so I'm going to go back to the road. Let's go and find the lake that's frozen and a jeep. That does look like a road of some description, but I'm going to leave it for another day. You can see why I'm not going in there without an emergency kit and Kitty knowing where I am. So the road's just there. In spring, summer and fall, the vegetation is just too dense to get through. I got out reasonably easily because on the way back I followed the large carnivores trail, because large carnivores, unlike us, actually know where they live and take the easiest route. So I completely bypassed the bramble patch, which was nice. I wish you guys were here. It's just a magnificent day. Not quite cold enough to freeze my nostril hairs, but almost. Nobody's been down here, no snowmobiles, no human tracks, no ski tracks, no car tracks, nothing. They could have come in by the lake. So the critters think it's safe. But I'm not going to go on there yet. There's the moon in daylight. If you have big trees near your property, you might want to take them out now. This smashed 2 buildings here. Huge tree. This tree fell down in the wind on this guy's property. Snow angel! Ah, oh, man, it's cold. It's like I say, Kitty showed me this a couple of days ago. So we're going to trespass and we're going to find an old Canadian Jeep. Hello! As you can see, humanity has not been this way. How's that for an old renovated barn? There's the facilities. Kitty particularly likes this, and I don't blame her. It's quite beautiful. I don't think it's that old, but it's very, very nice. Just a metal tin roof, a bit of concrete, some ends of wood. And that is why we came here. Look at that. Predates 1983, not sure how old it is. That's a Canadian Armed Forces Jeep. There you go. Probably not that comfortable, but a little bit of history. So I don't know if you guys can see the pathway here. But at certain times of year it's a lot more obvious than it is right now. Thin soil here. And there you have it, the frozen lake from a different perspective. Well, I hope you enjoyed this walk, looking at the effects of humanity on the environment where I am. Get out there, do some walking. This was day 23 for me. It's the 13th of December, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. If you are going to trespass, try and get permission. If you can't get permission, use your noggin. Don't go sneaking in through side ways. Go in through the main area. Don't go inside any buildings unless the building itself is obviously destroyed. Don't touch anything. Don't move anything. And take nothing but memories and photographs, because you might well be on camera up here. A lot of them use game cameras. So this is actually trespassing, and I don't have any regrets because it's beautiful and I get to share that with you guys. Thanks for watching. Toodles. This video has been brought to you by Patsy, the latest addition to our menagerie. I don't like the name. Any suggestions?